Hi guys, I'm Tanya Visser from the Gardener and Deadheading magazines, and have I got some COVID-19 therapeutic relief for you. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to print your favorite gardening magazine, but relax, we've got a plan. The Gardener and Deadheading magazines are now available online. Simply visit thegardener.co.za and follow the easy prompts to have your June edition digitally delivered to your inbox. Whether you're a seedling in gardening or a gardening guru, get all the latest gardening inspiration, how-tos right at your fingertips. And get even more gardening for less with our bumper June combined digital issue. And that, folks, is gardening therapy at your fingertips.
Tanya Visser Live is proudly brought to you by Stark Airs, Seeds of Success, and TanyaVisser.com for all your gardening goodies and supplies.
Well, hello everybody. Hold on, got to finish deadheading here. You know, one of the most important parts about annuals. Okay, so hello guys. Gee, I missed you. I really did. No, I really did. And I hope you're all nice and warm because it is freezing. It's freezing all over South Africa. And hallelujah, that the things that we know about our garden, like frost guard, that you've got to wrap your plants in, that we've got jerseys, that some don't. But guys, here we are. I hope that you have enjoyed the cold. And a lot of people say to me, no, it's way too cold. You know, we're either complaining that it's too cold or it's too hot or there's too much rain or there's too little rain. You know, we're full of moans and groans. But now we're moaning about COVID more than anything else. But let's not worry about that because I'm sure by next week you'll be able to go and have your cappuccino at your favorite hangout. Of course, with your copy of the Gardener magazine, because if you don't have that, you're like so out, you know, you're really like not cool. But anyway, guys, I know there's been cold all over South Africa, and is it a good thing? Well, hallelujah, yes, because with the cold comes snow, all right? So there's been snow, which is great, which means that our dam levels are going to get nice and full, all right? Important. It means that the chogos, the bad guys, the fungal spores, the disease spores are going to die. They can't survive in that. I mean, we can barely survive in that, us, you know? I was sent a video with like icicles hanging from trees. I was like, you can make slush puppies, baby, slush puppies. But yeah, it has been chilly, guys. And even here in sunny KwaZulu-Natal, we live halfway between Durban and Pietermaritzburg near the Valley of 1,000 Hills. And we very rarely get frost. We live in kind of like a paradise climate because we can grow cold climate, we can grow temperate plants, we can grow coastal plants as well. But let me tell you, the other morning the valley was white with frost, absolutely white. The plants had little icicles all around them. The bird baths were frozen, and we never get to see that. I know with some of you that's like a daily occurrence during the winter months, but for us it was very different. And also what it does awaken us to the fact that we've got to prepare for spring, that we've got to make sure that whatever we're doing is right for our gardens. Even the soil was frozen. Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about that today, but we're talking mainly about annuals. But before I get into that, most importantly, when I tell you what I want to tell you about is this. Guys, I said to my team when our June magazine arrived in our office, and I get quite emotional about it because it took every bit of our resources, of our strength, of our team, of twisting of arms to be able to get this guy to the press, to be able to print it for you. So very, very shortly, in fact, if you do go out to your favorite supermarket, and if you want to know what supermarkets it's at and what garden centers it's at, just go to our website. Go to www.thegardener, and you'll see a list that you can click on which tells you where you can buy this magazine. And I'm going to frame this forever. And one day when my grandchildren are wanting to know about what we did, I'll tell them one of the toughest times of our life was when COVID was around and we couldn't get to print our magazine. But it's here now, so please go out and get it. We're really proud of it, and to have put it together during the most difficult times. And I know you guys know what difficult times are because you're experiencing them as well. But come, Mace, come closer. I want to give them a sneak preview. Come and have a look. Just come and have a look. Okay, just let me move the glass, Mace. Come and have a look here. I want to show you terrariums. Everybody wants a terrarium. We show you how to plant them, how to put them together, what tools you need. And of course, there are over 100 gardening goodies that we're giving away. And all you got to do is send us an email. It's as easy as that. You send us an email and you can choose what you'd like to enter. That makes me excited. I've already had a friend tell me he's entered like 100 times. I'm like, easy, dude. But anyway, moving along. We've got a beautiful article on how to get vertical height into your garden, because that's a big thing. Small gardens, lots of walls. How do you make more gardening space? Easy. You just go up. All right. And look at this. Here's the terrarium, back in fashion, beautiful. How to plant them up, what plants to use. And we go further. Bird feeders, easy to make. Look at that new one. Come on. Everybody's got a cup and saucer that they're not interested in using anymore. So turn it into a wicked bird feeder. And then, of course, we have got everything that you need to be doing in the garden, from down to your garden tasks, your herb of the month, what to grow, what you can be sowing at this time of the year. So we have got it all, and the sexiest plant in the district, everything about angel wings that you're going to need to know. And I'm going to show you this plant in a few minutes. And of course, how to make more. Yummy, yum. How to make more aloes, because they're in full flower. If you've got a lot in the garden, you're going to want to know how to divide them. But guys, get in. Please get your copy of The Gardener and make sure that we are here for a long time to support you with amazing gardening advice. And there's one more page I want to show you, because it is the most apt thing right now, considering that we're all freezing our little butts off. Look, yummy stews. How do you use them? What do you use winter kale for? How do you use beans? Oh man, don't you want that? So if you want it, get your copy and boom, that's it. Guys, this is my baby. This is the baby that all of us work so hard towards, and I'm so incredibly proud of our team. I also want to thank our advertisers, to you guys out there who believe in us, who have stood by us from the very first time that I got on the phone to phone you and say, I'm starting a gardening magazine, and you've been with us all the way, and I salute you and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Especially a big shout out today goes out to Stark Airs. Thank you guys, the team from Stark Airs, for sponsoring today's Facebook Live. We've got lots to tell you about them. They're seeds of success, and what's more about it is that they're easy to grow. Yes, you can do it. Anybody can do it. But it's not only about seeds. They've got lots of other gizmos and gadgets, which I'm going to show you about just now. But first of all, let's see who's saying hello. Mace, let's go back there, and I'll give your arm a bit of a break. You know, this poor oak, his arm nearly falls off. He's had to make a sling for it so that he can hold his camera still while I'm busy yakety-yakketing away. Right, let's say, who is here? Crawly Things. My gosh, Crawly Things, is that you? Okay, Crawly Things, hello, welcome. Audrey's back. I'm off sick this week. Oh no, Audrey, you ain't got the virus. Okay, I hope not. Right, okay, right, let's go and let's see who else is there. Reno. Oh, you can't wait to get your magazine. Hallelujah. Edith from Azafontein. I believe you had amazing rain down there, which is fantastic. You know, those levels need to get up. You need to get those dam levels up. Melissa, love the magazine. So many amazing tips. Thank you so much. Sue, Lisa is, I'm sneakily watching at work. Lisa, make sure you got your headphones on, and then have another screen there so you could just like... You can just swap out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you got it waxed. Okay. Vanessa, hello. Who else are we there? There was somebody I saw was watching, somebody that's a youngster. Where will I find that? Let's go to here. No. I'm going to go back to this over here. Who's the little guy? Page 3. Thank you. Page 3. Who is it? It's Sophie. Hello, Sophie May. Tiffany's your mom. I'm watching from my mom's cell phone. Mwah, mwah. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Yes, apparently I'm meant to be looking there so that I can follow that camera, and then Mace is hanging out here. Guys, you have no idea. This looks like an outside broadcast at the moment. There are so many cables in my garage. Oh, and I've got to tell you something. So we're setting up this morning, And of course, there's cables running all over, like hundreds of meters of cables. And Rolo, you know Rolo, the new little fur kid who's hanging around with us, that little brown ball of gorgeousness. I find him eating, chewing away at the main cable that's coming out the Wi-Fi box, you know, that's meant to be coming here. So let's hope that he's not chewing on that right now. But anyway, Sophie May, it's good to have you with us. Thank you for enjoying gardening, and I hope that you help your mom in the garden a lot. Adele from a cool, I got another word for that, very cold Paul. Rosemary, hello from Joburg South. Michelle, who else have we got? Zexter, that's a beautiful name. Good morning. Sue from a freezing waterfall, I hear you, sister. Lorinda, hello. Jane Murcott, beautiful gardening day here in PE, and I hope the wind isn't blowing. And that's one good thing about the winter months, that you don't get so much wind. Okay, right. Guys, welcome. Right, let's get into it. We're talking about annuals. Guys, annuals are just fantastic. Why? Because they give you boundless color. And I mean boundless color. I'm often amazed by folks out there who say, no, they don't want to spend any money on annuals. You know, but this is what it's all about. Mace, take a look here. Come close. Look at these. This is a little viola. It's called sorbet pink. I mean, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it just too gorgeous? So violas are the cousin of the pansies. All right, now in Afrikaans, they got a beautiful way of describing pansies. They call them gesiggies. That's because they generally have the little markings. Violas, I just love them. But before we get into these guys, I just want to talk about this. 6 little compartments, okay? There they are. 6 little compartments that have 6 bundles of joy of beautiful little plants that you're going to pay between 30 and 40 South African rand for a tray. Now, some people immediately say, ew, that's way too much. That's so expensive. Let's put it into context. 30 to 40 bucks. Let's take 40. 40 rand for 6 plants. We put these in our garden. We prepare the soil right. We give them the right food. We make sure that we look after them. We make sure we deadhead them. And they are going to give you 6 months of beautiful color. So 6 months, I might need my calculator for this, but let's work it out. I really want to work it out to show you. So we've got 6 months times 6 times average, let's take 30 days. Okay, that's 180 days. Divided by the 40 rand that we paid is going to give me, is that what it's going to give me? Somebody help me out here. 30 times, what did I say? 40 times 6. No, man. Help me out here. 30 times 6. That's how many days? 180 days. Divided by 40 gives you 4.5 cents. Is that it? Yeah, 4.5 cents per day for this joy. So this is going to give me a square meter of color. 1 square meter of color when you plant these little guys. Is there anything, or can we relate anything to 40 rand that's going to give us endless joy for 6 months? Let's think. Takeout meal? No. Maybe a packet of biscuits? No. Maybe a ticket to the movies, because you can go to the movies now? No. 6 months, guys. That's what it's all about. And that blows my mind. When you think of the return on investment, and the investment is here. It's your investment. It's the joy. It's the beauty. It's it's just everything that it gives you. In this little punnet. Blows my mind. Okay, besides that, if you don't really like these shades, there's loads more. Okay, but before we get into that, let's talk about exactly what an annual is. Because a lot of people buy these little guys and say, Is it going to last forever? No, nothing lasts forever. Absolutely nothing. But these little guys last for a long, long time. And how do we work that out? So an annual is a plant that starts from a seed, okay? Just like these Namaqualand daisies, which I hope you have sown. Please, I hope you have sown your Namaqualand daisies. So an annual starts its life as a seed. It grows. That seed germinates, all right? Grows, flowers, makes seed, and dies within a year. That is an annual, okay? Called an annual for the perfectly practical reasons. So when people say to me, is this thing going to last forever? Well, no, it can't. I mean, and the other thing, if you... Okay, let's do this test. All right, guys, all of you that are watching, how many are watching? I don't know. However many are you? When you're sitting there, what I want you to do is start smiling from 3, 2, 1 now. Smile. Come on, smile with me. Smile. Come on, hold it. Hold it. Hold a smile. 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 Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Can you hold it any longer? Yeah, you're battling, hey? Yeah, I know. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, okay. That was 15 seconds. That was 15 seconds of smiling. You're paying $40 for something that's going to smile for 6 months, non-stop, because it's always going to have a flower on it. It's going to have a flower on it every single day, and it's smiling. That money can't buy. And that's why I invest in these, because no matter how cold it is, no matter how down you're feeling and yuck, and all the dramas in life, you just got to walk out and look into one of these little things, and you're like, no, it's so beautiful. It is so, so gorgeous. Have you got that, Mace? Nice and close up. Look how beautiful this little guy is. And I just simply adore them. All right, so besides little violas, what else have we got, guys? So I'm going to run through these to give you an idea of what you can be planting now. All right, what you can be planting now. And the most important thing is that a lot of these cope with the really, really cold weather, okay, so that you know that you're going to be safe. You're going to be fine. The frost is not going to annihilate them. In fact, they love it. They love the cold. The colder they are, the more their little flowers stick up and the more that they're encouraged to produce flowers. So let's go back to that guy over there and let me show you what we've got. So one of the best is little alyssum. Now, alyssum, you know that you can get alyssum in little seed packets. All right, let me move this out the way here for you, Mace. Alyssum you can also buy in seed packets. In fact, take a look at this little one here. This is a little water-saving mix, a little seed mix, and it's got alyssum in there. Do you see that? There's the little alyssum. It's also known as the honey flower, because when you... Oh, yeah, you can smell it. Of course, when it's cold, you don't get as much as a fragrance, but when the temperatures warm up, or like 11, 12 during the day, when we have those beautiful winter days, this smells like honey, dripping, dripping like honey. And this is beautiful. Alyssum loves the sun, all right, loves being in the full sun. And each little plant will get about 20, 25 centimeters. That's big. This little guy, look, I'm going to pop him out. Okay, and when you pop out a plant out of a seedling tray, come here so I can show you. You see at the bottom of the tray here, okay, there's your drainage hole. Do you see when I push there? You can actually hear it. Can you hear that? It's designed like that. It's designed so that you can push it easily. Because I've seen too many people do this when they are planting out their bedding plants. They grab the plant by its ears. Nobody likes being pulled by their ears, guys, especially not plants, but they grab it and then they pull it, okay? And if you're lucky, it comes out like this. But if you are not lucky, I'm going to show you exactly what happens. But, you know, we've got really good bedding plants here, so the chances are that they are all going to come out as I want them to. Oh, look at that. No, it's not behaving now. Now when I want a plant to pull out with all its roots exposed, okay, these are all really good bedding plants. But normally what happens, and you've done this, I know you've done it at home. You grab the plant, you pull it out, and the soil gets left behind, and you end up with this plant and the roots just dangling in the air. I've seen you do that, okay? And then you wonder why the plant doesn't grow. For goodness sake, you've just been pulled by your ears, you've been hung around, you know, you've got no roots left, and then you get put down in some poor soil and you expect it to flourish. Negative, Norman. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so let's go back to this. You push the bottom. All you do is push there. As you do that, you see it pops up there. Pops up there, then you grab it there by the soil and out it comes. All right? Now we are ready. That is how you handle a little bedding plant. Okay, remember, this guy's grown from seed. He was a little delicate boy. All right, so you don't go manhandling it and treating it really badly, because nobody wants to be treated badly. So that's how you take them out, folks. Please, very important. Pop it at the bottom, out it pops, and then we can plant it out. So that's the first part. How do you get it out? Next thing is, besides that, folks, what do we need to get right? Number one, we need to get our soil right. Very, very important. It all starts with the soil. It starts with the foundation of our homes. And if we don't get the soil right, no matter how much fertilizer, no matter how much coaxing, wooing, please grow for me, baby, it's not going to do it. So get the soil right. So if you're putting it into the garden, simple things, guys. Use a garden fork. Okay, a garden fork sits about 25 to 30. That's the depth. That's what you want to turn that soil over. So get in there, get that fork in, and turn that soil over. We speak about a no-dig method in gardening, but when you're about to plant, that's when you turn the soil. Okay, so get in there, turn that soil, add a good thick layer of compost, all right? At least 5 to 10 centimeters. Add your layer of compost, and then you are also going to add a little bit of this, some humigrow, okay? So you're going to scatter the humigrow. Why? Because these little balls, it's like compost on steroids, all right? Remember, we've showed these to you, okay? Beautiful. And in fact, what I'm going to just do very, very quickly is I want to show you what it does. Come and have a look here. I'm just going to pop these in here, all right? And we're just going to give it a little stir. Let's just add a few more of these little guys in. And let's just leave it for a while. And you can see as I'm stirring, oh, look, the water's changing color, because that's what happens. These little balls, which are full of goodness, it's like compost on steroids, end up breaking down, going into your soil, help with water holding capacity, help with adding that good humic content to your soil, and that's what we want. Okay, so you add a bit of this to the top of the soil with your compost, dig it all in, add some bone meal in. If you don't have dogs, add a bit of bone meal. If you got dogs, add superphosphate rather, okay, because if you add the bone meal, you know what's going to happen. They're going to go looking for the bones, okay, so don't do that. Dig it all in, level your surface out, and then plant your bedding plants. All right, it's so much easier, folks, to prepare your area properly rather than going in there with a little garden trowel and trying to dig. Because you know what? And I've seen you. This is what you do. You take a little garden trowel, you've got your little garden bed, you dig a hole, you realize, gee, this is a bit hard, eh? So you dig it just that the plant can fit in there, like just that big. And then you take this poor little bedding plant and you squash it in there. I know, I've seen you. You squash it in there. Sometimes your hole isn't big enough, so it only gets covered like that much. But you get it in there, you force it in. You're not giving it the right start, guys. That is not the right start that these plants need. So please, it's really important that you do your prep. Get the soil right, because once you've got the base right, the rest is easy and it just grows. Remember that on your bedding plants, you are going to find a label. Interesting that, because on the label, it tells you where the plant likes to grow. Are you with me here, Mace? So look at that. It tells you it can cope in the cold and frost. This is how big it grows. Excellent for mass planting. Good for ground covers and borders, as well between pavers. It tells you everything. So read the label, because the label will tell you where it needs to grow, whether you need sun, whether you need shade. Okay, very, very important. So that's the planting. Let's see if there are any questions here about planting, because then we can get through those and we can move on to the next issue. All right. Chile, Zimbabwe. Kate's from a Chile, Zimbabwe. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go and have a look here. Oh, Crawley Things wants to know what's my favorite annual. Oh. Okay, I'll tell you. My favorite annual right now and for winter, so it changes and as seasons change, but for winter, it has to be delphiniums. It just has to be, because I love delphiniums. They grow beautiful and tall. The perennial delphiniums are fabulous. In fact, I've got some coming up now, sending out the beautiful, lovely hand-like foliage. They are coming up now from last season, which means that I've got 2 seasons out of them. 2 seasons. That is a winner. A very, very close second, like coming up right as a close second, would be foxgloves. Foxies, you buy them looking like this. They're green. They've got to be like this, because you plant your little foxies out, and what happens, each plant gets about that big. They can go in semi-shade, they can go in full sun. The plant will get about that high with its leaves, and then out of the plant come these most beautiful spikes of awesome flowers. That is insane. I just love it. Okay, let's go on to Michelle. Okay, so that's my favorite. How do you know when delphinium seedlings, do you know when delphinium seedlings will be in the nurseries? Sharon, it's a very good question. So lockdown has created a huge backlog, because the growers who grow all these beautiful bedding plants couldn't actually get their little seedlings, because they germinated in one place, they then transported to another place, grown on in our little punnets ready for us to have. They also just couldn't get seeds. So delphiniums and foxies are a bit late. So I would say, I know that here in KwaZulu, I know in Joburg, they're probably going to be another 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, and you should get delphiniums. One of the easiest ways, pick up the phone your local garden center and find out, because you've just got to plant them. And remember, delphiniums and foxies are your taller ones. So you plant those at the back of the bed, right? Because they give you that beautiful height. And that's what I love about them. They do something like an English country garden. They're just spectacular. Okay, how do I get rid of grubs? I have loads, bought a pesticide, but it's weird. Says I must spray, but they're under the ground. Excuse me, Michelle. Okay, if you've got grubs, grubs generally eat the soil. Okay, if they're those big fat grubs, they eat the soil. They turn the soil into compost. People say that they eat their plants, that they eat the roots. The damage that they're going to do is very, very small, and they're actually so beneficial that I'm going to tell you not to. Please don't spray them, because when you are using one of those drenches, you really do get rid of all the other good stuff in the soil. You really, really do. So rather not. Deal with them. If you find them, take them out, but they are not going to destroy your plants. They really are not. Belinda, hi Tanya, when I put compost in my garden, should I dig it in, or can I just pour it over and leave it like a mulch? Right. Belinda, good question. It depends on what you're doing. I've got a terrible runny nose at the moment. It's this cold. It's driving me mental. All right. So if you are composting, couple of things you want to do. Remember, we talk about no dig gardening. So yes, when you're laying this beautiful layer of compost on your garden, all that I would do, put a thick layer, get your garden fork, and literally, you're just teasing it. You put it there and you just twist it a bit. Just twist it a bit. Just twist it. Thank you. More tissue. Hallelujah. So that's all you're going to do. You're not going to dig it in. No, you are only going to dig it in when you're preparing your beds. That is the only time you dig in compost, is when preparing your beds for planting. All right, because we talk about the no dig method, and I imagine you have got a beautiful layer of mulch already, which is your leaves. You've got your grass clippings that you've put on top of the soil, and that has created this beautiful ecosystem. So no, don't go digging it in. Okay. Oh, Audrey, her pansies are yellowing. Big crying face. You got to see this. Audrey, okay, so Audrey, what is happening? And you know, with pansies, violas, all of those don't like too much water. They don't like wet feet. Who does? All right? Rising damp. Nobody enjoys that. And if you're overwatering your pansies or your violas or your alyssum, this beautiful white here, as a matter of fact, they will start getting yellow leaves. They detest it. Another one that doesn't like too much water are these beautiful verbenas. Can you see this verbena here, Mace? Come in and show them. Verbenas are awesome, but I'm going to get back to this in a minute. What I do want to tell you about is the yellowing of the leaves. If you are overwatering, guys, you are going to see it. The outside leaves are going to start yellowing, dropping off. You could even find little black spots on them, and that is a sure sign. So cut back on your watering, all right? And when I say cut back, you've probably been watering every day or every second day. So I would cut that back down to every third day. Generally, all of these little guys, violas, pansies, only need a watering twice a week, sometimes even once a week, because the days aren't hot. It's not beating down. And once again, remember, do the soil test. All I want you to do is go in there, scrape the soil a bit, just get beyond that top layer. If you're nervous about, have I given it too much or not enough, scrape the surface, check in there, put your finger in, you'll feel if it's damp. Okay, so cut back on the watering. What also your plants might need, they might need a bit of food, a little bit of vuma, you know, get it going, okay? But we'll talk about that just now. Let's see. Janine, what have you got? Hi from a cold Josie. Does annual mean you have to replace the plant each year? Yeah, boy, yes. That is correct, Carter. Yes, Janine, it means you've got to replace it every year. But like I said to you, let's go back to the transaction. Let's go back to the transaction, the monetary transaction that we did. For this little guy, $40 for 6 months of color. Hallelujah, come on. This is insane, okay? Some of them even last beyond. I've had little violas in the garden that have gone on for 8-9 months. In fact, by February next year, they were still flowering, all right, still doing their thing. Delphiniums, which are the true perennials, which you will be able to buy as well very, very soon. Delphiniums, like I said, are coming up in my garden already. It's their second season. Foxgloves do the same. And if you plant the plants in the right spot, like these little verbenas, come in and have a look at these. I wanted to talk about these because verbenas love hot, dry, sunny spots. They love it. These are the little clump-forming verbenas. You also get the trailing ones. They're lovely to use in hanging baskets. Put them in window boxes or on the edges of bed, you know, beds. So they just creep over and soften the edges. Verbenas are wicked. They are tough as nails. Do not overwater them. If you overwater these guys, they start getting like a powdery thing going on. It's powdery mildew, and they really don't dig it, okay? So yes, unfortunately, you have to replace them. But you know what? I'm going to bring this up. How often do you replace the cushions in your home? Come on. Almost every season. It depends if Delicious Monsters are in this year, or if it's a succulent image, or if it's Proteas. You go into that store that begins with a Mr. and it ends with another word. You go into that store and you see all the new cushions. You're like, oh, I've got to have this. I've just got to have it. And you buy the cushions with the inner because you're too lazy to take the inner out of your other ones. True story. You buy the whole instant thing and you put it on your couch and it's cost you about $400, and you stand back and say, doll, it's gorgeous. It's fab. Just fabulous. And next year, you don't even blink or bat an eyelid when butterflies are in, and you go and buy butterfly cushions with the inner and you put them down there. What did that money? Why not? No, come on. So don't even talk to me about that. I don't even want to hear it, because it's like we waste money. We waste it on things where we could be putting it and investing into something like this that is just going to give us without requiring very, very little. Very little. Okay, next question. Alida, any tips on plants that have had frost? Eesh. Okay, most of them are succulents. Alida, okay. Jy het 'n probleem. Jy is in die Deadheading. Okay, so Alida, what I want you to do is don't do a thing. The first thing is just don't do a thing. Please don't go and prune. Do not try and break off those bits, because if you've had severe frost, your succulents would have literally burst and it turns into mush, okay, the little leaves, and you will find that in a lot of the garden. And I think it's important that we do talk about frost now, because a lot of people are going to have had frost damage. Please do not prune. Leave the plants, because the damaged area, okay, that it is damaged, it actually protects the rest of the plant, because maybe it's just the outer leaves, but inside it's still okay. So leave it until we get to the end of winter, all right? When there is no more signs of frost, then you can prune them away. If you prune away now and we get clubbed with another frost, maybe next week, all it's going to do is frost further. Does that make sense? All right, and get out your frost guard, guys. You can buy that. You can get it at your local garden center. You can get it at Builders. Get out there and get the frost guard and wrap your babies up. You must wrap them up, okay? Wrap them up, because then they get protected, all right? So the frost can come along and it's not going to harm your little babies. And the other thing is, you don't have to run and put the blanket on and take the blanket off every day and put it back on. You can actually just leave it there. If you're really busy and you've covered some plants, they can stay covered for a long, long time, okay? They can grow quite happily, because the frost guard allows the UV lights through. The plant can grow, so you're not wrapping, unwrapping, wrapping, unwrapping, you know, like a Christmas present. Like, surprise, it's still you. Okay, so just please protect your plants, because, yeah, it's your investment. Okay, I hope that answers you. Here's a good question. Here's a good question from Brigitte. Brigitte, are geraniums also annuals? You're trying to trick me, aren't you? Okay, Brigitte, come with me here. In fact, I'm going to take you on my cell phone. We're going to go for a little, while I was still trying to work out my math. You can see I wasn't very good at math, was I? Come with me. I want to show you this over here. Okay, let's see, are we on? Let's get this baby going. Because geraniums are fab. Geraniums, they've got a beautiful Afrikaans name. They're called malvas. Malva. Okay. Now, these guys, as you can see, it's been raining here, so we got them out of the garden this morning and we brought them into here. I love geraniums. Now, you won't believe it, but approximately 4 weeks ago, these geraniums had no leaves on them. They were just sticks. I had neglected them. I will own up, I'd neglected them. They were looking revolting. In fact, my other half said, I think you should just throw these away. I'm like, no, my darling. We are going to look after these. I'm going to feed them up and we're going to get them going. So what did we do? I gave them a little layer of compost on the top. I gave them some plant food. I gave them a bit of extra water, and away they came. So geraniums are not necessarily annuals, but if you treat them badly, they will become an annual very, very quickly. The most important thing with geraniums is not to overwater. Okay, don't overwater them. And when you are watering, please water the soil, okay, and not the flowers. Because if you water the flowers, they tend to get spoiled really, really quickly. So rather water the soil. Sounds like kind of dwarf, but it is what it is. Water the soil, not the flowers. And the other thing is, you see this guy over here, I want to show you. When he's finished flowering, okay, when he's finished flowering, I want you to follow the stalk all the way back to where it joins the plant. Can you see right in there? There, where it joins the plant. And then I want you to snap this whole stick off. Snap that stick off, because when you do that, what you're doing is you're encouraging more flowers. Don't leave these stalks, because these stalks can look very, very ugly. All right, you end up just with those stalks, and here's where the seeds are going to form. And we're actually not interested in seeds. We don't want the seeds of annuals. All we want is the beautiful flowers. So really important, guys, that you remove the dead bits. Now, talking about geraniums, so geraniums, they're indigenous, yeah? And you get beautiful colors. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And I actually love combining them with my little violas. So come with me, Mace, here. Come and have a look. I mean, if we had a bigger pot of these geraniums and I wanted to put something around it just to pick up some color, we could use these beautiful little violas. Okay, we could use stunning alyssum as a combo. You get trailing geraniums as well. So this geranium, come in and have a look here. I'm going to pull this pot forward. Okay, come in really close here. Can you see that marking there? Okay, and it's got a round leaf. So these are called zonal pelargoniums. Zonal, round leaf, and it's got that little coloring there. Can you see that fade, that little mark? Round leaf means zonal, means it's a bush, okay? Ivy leaf, so it's practical. It tells you if it's got an ivy leaf, shaped leaf, those are then the trailing ones. So the trailing ones also good for pots, hanging baskets, and they look fab. So just make sure you're buying the right type of geranium. So it's feeding, it's watering, but not over-watering, watering the soil, not the flowers, and you know you're going to be in a better space. Okay, but look at this. Come, 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 come. Oh, isn't it beautiful? This is a little annual. This is the mauve alyssum. Now, mauve alyssum you can sow by seed, like we spoke about. This is just like the white one, but this has got a bit of fleck in it, and oh, you can smell it. You can actually smell it. It is gorgeous. Carpets of lavender, carpets of mauve, or you can have carpets of white, and these are fabulous in between little paving blocks, great in hanging baskets, just like this little guy is, or you can just put it in pots. Really fab, fantastic. And remember, alyssum, not too much water, guys. Not too much water, and make sure that you are feeding them. Okay, we're going to get on to feeding just now, so don't stress. We're going to ask a few more. Jennifer from Bremen in Germany. International. Yes, that's not the airport. Guys, she doesn't have a garden. You don't have a garden, Jennifer, but that's okay. You can have a garden indoors, because in Europe you have many, many things that you can grow. Amor is from East London. Pansies and violas in pots. Do I still water every third day? Yes. Yours are probably yellowing from having too much water, so back off on your watering, okay? I think you guys are over watering them. Michelle, 2 weeks ago I put some bone meal in my little garden. My flowers now have shoots. When do I add more bone meal, or do I leave it? No, you only add bone meal when you're planting, okay? You add bone meal when you're planting. After this, you want to go with something with a bit more vuma, okay? So what are you going to be using? I'm going to show you very, very quickly, guys, of what you can use. So either of these products here, take a look. We've got NutriFeed, which is a good all-rounder. You can use this on pots, containers. You can use it in your veggie garden. All of them come in a very, very simple, they come in a little doy pack here. You get one of these little guys. You take one of these little scoops, pop it into your watering can. All right, there we go. Pop it into water. And this thing, this is a 5 liters. So it's one of these into 5 liters of water. Mix, 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 and then you feed. All right, so as you're watering, so you're feeding. Works brilliantly, and it goes a long, long way. This is the 316 plant food. This is NutriFeed. Either of these do a fantastic job. All right, the other one that you can use, Multi-Grow, an organic-based Calpac, which is also great for plant stimulation. So to stimulate growth, if we want lots of green leaves and we want lots of flowers, use the Calpac. They both work brilliantly. Guys, the next thing that's very, very important, so that's feeding, okay? Just use it, guys, use it. Follow the instructions. Don't ask me, how must I dilute this? Shake it up, read the instructions, and it'll tell you. Most of these work once every 10 days, okay? Multi-Grow, really good for stimulating flower growth, good leaf growth, because if you have good leaf growth, you've got strong flowers, okay? Because you need leaves to photosynthesize to make the flowers. Does that make sense? Okay, right, very, very important. What I want to show you is deadheading. Okay, we're going to use this guy over here. Look at my table, Mace. It's an absolute mess. All right, so come along with me here, because this is one of the most important activities that you have got to do. So, and this goes with violas, it goes with your poppies, it goes with your geraniums that I was speaking about, when the plant has finished flowering. So let's just find, oh, isn't this petunia beautiful? I mean, look at that color. Isn't it magnificent? I just, it astounds me, the colors that we are able to get and what we're blessed with. So let's take a look at this guy. He's like on his way out. You can see that, okay? He's not looking so lacquer. Now, we want flowers. I'm not interested in seeds because this is an annual. It's not like I'm trying to collect seed. No. So what we do is we follow this plant, follow the flower, all the way down to where it joins the main part of the plant. There we go. It's stem. Okay, I'm actually going to get a pair of secateurs in here. Now you'll see deep in there. Can you see? There's another little leaf. That's in the axil. So what we call that, that's the leaf axil. You'll see that there's the stem, it's joined it. Now all you want to do, take a pair of secateurs or your nails and you just pop it off, all right? That is called deadheading. Deadheading is not this and leaving the stem behind, because a lot of you do that, especially while you're on the phone. Hello, yes, no, doll, no, I'm going quickly to the shops and then I'll be back later. Yeah, okay, who's picking up the kids? Yeah, okay. That's not deadheading. Deadheading is when you get your thumb and your forefinger right in there and you find the part where it joins the plant like that, snip it off with the stem. Do not just do that and leave the stem behind, because what happens is if you leave the stem, energy is still going into this, because that is where the seed forms. Okay, right there. There's the reproductive organs of the plant in there. You don't want seeds because the plant is still putting all its energy in, trying to make seeds. No, 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 no. So snap it off. Also, what happens if you leave this and we get a little bit of rain like we've had in the last few days, what ends up happening is those little stems start getting furry bits on them. You've seen it. They get little furry bits on, it becomes white, and that's fungal diseases. So you're encouraging fungal diseases if you do not deadhead frequently. So with our little violas, same thing, guys, exactly same thing. Same principle. Follow the flower with its stem all the way down to where it joins the plant and nip it off. That is deadheading. The more you do that, the more they flower. If you deadhead your annuals on a regular basis, and it's one of the easiest things to do, you will get at least 2 months extra life out of them. Guaranteed. 2 more months. Okay, so please do that, because then these guys will go well on into December, January and February. Loads of color. Okay. Is feeding necessary? Freddie's asking, is feeding necessary in winter? Okay, Freddie, it's a good question. Not necessarily for your shrubs, because they kind of go to sleep, all right? Some of them are not at their best in winter, but these guys are designed to grow during the cooler months. So yes, they need to get fed. If they are not getting food, they are not going to perform and give you what they need. Okay, and they've got a short life cycle. So we've got to get them in there, we've got to get them to their peak. It's not like running the comrades. This is like a sprint, okay? This is like a Usain Bolt. It's a sprint, so we've got to make sure that he's carbo loaded, that he's ready, that he can make it and peak at the right time, and that's what we want out of our little bedding plants. Okay, Lynn, what is your question? Let's see. Lynn, I've never liked geraniums, but you changed my mind. Well, Malthus, what's not to love? Okay, she's off to get some on the weekend. Good on you. Remember the difference between the zonal, which is the bush, and the ivy leafed, which is the trailing. And give them food, and remember to deadhead. There is, added hydro cash to my hanging basket. Oh, Fawny, good job. Okay. Fawny added hydro cash to his hanging basket, looking better already. Rock star status. Okay, I want to tell you very quickly, because I know my time is running away from me as usual. But where's my hydro cash? Oh, Lordy, I moved it. Here it is, right in front of me. Fawny, you did a brilliant job by adding your hydro cash to your hanging basket, because remember, we've spoken 2 weeks ago how what ends up happening is that they dry out. Okay, hanging baskets, pots, for those of you that seem like you've been overwatering, you can add a bit of this because it's going to even cut back your watering even more. Hydrocash, little granules with carbon, that's a little black puff that you saw there. You mix it, a little scoop like that into 5 liters of potting soil, so that would be a bucket of potting soil that you're preparing for your garden or for your pots. Mix that in, and I'm going to show you what happens. This looks like a double bubble toil and trouble hydrocash. Okay, so let's get it mixing, because I want to show you what happens when you add water to it. In fact, I planted a whole lot of plants on the weekend, and in the bottom of each hole went a whole handful of mixed up hydrocash already. So let's get this going here, because you can see the texture is changing already. Because what happens, hydrocash absorbs the water. The little granules suck up all the water, and then when your plants need it, as their roots are there, so they just take the water back. This, in a couple of seconds, is going to turn into this most beautiful, oh, it's already getting there. It almost looks like little frog's eggs, you know, sago pudding. Yummy, sago pudding in winter. I know what I'm having tonight. But look here, can you see already? May's coming close there. Look what's happening. That little powder, look, has been turned, it's sucked up the water. Okay, there you can see it. And if I have to leave this for just a few more seconds, this is going to turn, all the water will be gone, and it turns into this jelly because it's sucked up all the moisture. So as your plants need it in the soil, so they start taking it back. A brilliant additive, guys. Please do add it to your hanging baskets, to your soil mixture, and it works like a bomb. Okay, I've got a few more questions. Brigitte wants to know, how many more minutes have I got? I have got 5 minutes. Brigitte wants to know, can you feed too much? Okay, yes you can. If you are not following the instructions, Brigitte, on the back of the bottle, and if it says that you are going to, if it's 1 cap in 1 liter of water, or 1 cap of 5 liters of water, and it says you only do that once every 10 days. Don't do extra. It's like force feeding. Don't think the child's going to grow faster if you feed it more. No, the child grows fatter, all right? So it's important that you follow the instructions, because if you're overfeeding, what tends to happen is you're creating too much of a buildup of all of these nutrients, and the plant actually can't cope. Also, if you are feeding with a chemical fertilizer, what's going to happen is you can even burn the plants. So please follow the instructions. If you're using chemical fertilizers, remember you've got to put it around the plant, on the soil. It mustn't touch the leaves. If it touches the leaves, then the plants are going to burn. That is overfeeding. Guys, please, if I haven't got to your questions, please know that I'm going to be around and I will answer all your questions straight after the Facebook Live. So don't stress if I haven't got to them yet. Remember, you not only can get your beautiful color in instant little pots like this, or in these beautiful little punnets as I showed you, but you can also get them in seed form. And there are loads of seeds that you can sow right now, okay, right now, to make sure that you still will have a beautiful, colorful winter. Like this little indigenous mix, fantastic, especially if you've got a little bare patch. Take the seeds, remember, prep your soil properly, sprinkle them down, follow the instructions. Remember, if all else fails, follow the instructions on the back of the packet. You can get bee favorites. You can get colorful mixes, so as you want, you can color coordinate your garden. This is a spring flowering mix, which is brilliant. So you sow it now, it flowers in the spring. It even tells you how many days it takes before it will flower. So guys, if you're on a budget, if you've just got patches of big color, of big areas that you're wanting to get loads of color in, then do it by seeds. It works, it's easy. Okay, it really, really is easy. Folks, please remember before, oh, look what's happened. Quickly, get in here. I want to show you one last thing. Look here, look what it's done. Sucked up all the water. Brilliant. So now that in your dry garden bed, got all the water. If you forget to water when the plants need it on demand, what do? They just suck it up, and that's your hydro cash. Guys, remember, the June issue is on sale. Please go out and get your copy now. Remember, we've also got a digital lockdown special, which means if you just pay $100, you get digital access to 3 months of magazines. All right, so if you apply now, you're going to get the June digital, July and August. That's $30 for a copy, plus you get access to some of the previous magazines. So if you're into that, go onto our website, www.thegardener, and you can download it there. And folks, also, if you're interested in a virtual event, we have got an event going live for the Sunflower Fund. It's on the 15th of July. It's called, I think, Down the Garden Path or something with me. We've got an hour with me. It's a virtual tea. It's going to be loads of fun, lots of prizes to give away. You're even going to have to get dressed up, because we're going to be checking in on you at home to see what you're looking like, and that's going to be a really fun event. We're raising funds for the Bone Marrow Registry in South Africa, so please do check out, go onto our website to find out more about that event, and I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, next week, I'll see you at the same time, 11 o'clock. Go out and get your color. Get your color. Oh, next week is Builders. So at the same time, I'm doing a Builders Facebook Live. No, not Tanya at the same time. She can't do that. It will be a Builders event, so remember, you've got to go to the Builders Facebook page. Once again, a big shout out to Stark Airs, Seeds of Success, guys. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's event. As always, lots of love to all of you. Stay warm, stay safe, wash your hands, wear your masks, look after you and yours, and most importantly, God bless you and happy gardening. Thank you.
Tanya Visser Live was proudly brought to you by Stark Airs, Seeds of Success, and TanyaVisser.com for all your gardening goodies and supplies.
Hi guys, I'm Tanya Visser from the Gardener and Deadheading magazines, and have I got some COVID-19 therapeutic relief for you. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to print your favorite gardening magazine, but relax, we've got a plan. The Gardener and Deadheading magazines are now available online. Simply visit thegardener.co.za and follow the easy prompts to have your June edition digitally delivered to your inbox. Whether you're a seedling in gardening or a gardening guru, get all the latest gardening inspiration, how-tos right at your fingertips. And get even more gardening for less with our bumper June combined digital issue. And that, folks, is gardening therapy at your fingertips.